Appreciate the handoff there. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are underway. We got the round two Bigopes and Jpie Tedium. How you feeling coming into this one?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit, probably a little bit more on my feet to cast than you are. I was thrown into that game three all of a sudden, so I'm just ready to watch some good pred and just excited to keep doing this.
Absolutely stepping in where you can, helping where you can. But man, we've got a matchup coming up here, right? The between the two, pretty evenly matched. But the ones that stand out to me, Jpie, right? We've seen him. Everyone's watched a few casts with Jpie. You've seen some streams, and then you got Norf on the team. Norf is he's a force to be reckoned with for sure. Any lane he plays, specifically mid lane, he's pretty scary on. So I'm curious to see which role he's going to be running in this game, and then Nick Nads, Mama Joe, Bigopes on the opposing team. So I'm curious to see how these matchups play out. Who's going to be against who? But keeping my eye on North for this game, as I think he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and North is I believe, two-time PCC champion. Most recently, just won with D-Lab. Lance just confirmed to me, yeah, two-time champion. I was right. North, absolutely in every position I've seen him play, just in pub matches, but also in. Oh, sorry. Lance also just confirmed to me one-time MVP as well. So North dominant at the highest level of competition, and now he's also of course fantastic in pub matches. And now here in BFC, as you rightly pointed out, I think he's going to be pretty dominant here as well. North, a force to be reckoned with all over the map.
For sure, for sure. Well, enough about us. I think you guys have heard us casters talk about the game enough. Let's get into the draft if we've got it available, and I think we do. There it is. Beautiful transition. Well done production. Team Jpie versus Team Bigopes. Interesting games today, right, TD? We've seen a lot of different builds coming out here. The meta's kind of changing, and right away we're going to see the new character Aurora being banned. And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the new character's OP balance? Do you think it's worthy to ban an Aurora off the get-go?
I think it kind of makes sense. Teams haven't played together very long. They also haven't played against Aurora very long. It's a new character. Not everyone knows the counters, how to play around it perfectly, and it's pretty strong. I don't think it's the most dominant hero that's ever been released into this game. I don't think it touches release Argus, Wraith, or Kwang, but I do think it's quite strong. And without the knowledge that people have of what this character can do fully, a full understanding of the kit, it makes sense to just ban it away. And of course, Gideon, a staple ban for competitive pred.
Yeah, Gideon's just been very strong lately. And, me personally, I play a lot of pubs, right? And Gideon has just felt so good after this patch. The new items complement his kit really well. The change to True Silver, adding a bit more like regen, health, and magical power, not as much defense, but it's really just a staple item for Gideon. And you're able to get away with a lot of ults and a lot of things that you may not have been able to with the previous build. So definitely a good choice to ban the Gideon. Just huge amount of damage. And the first pick is going to go to Team Bigopes, picking the Grux. And that's another character that's changed a lot since the patches. Grux is just Gruxin.
What do you think makes him so different after this patch? Because I don't play a lot of offlane, and so I don't really get to see what makes him feel so different. I still feel like when those matches come and I'm forced into offlane, he still feels like Rux when he's running at me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the numbers to support it, right? I haven't worked out the numbers on paper yet, but at least from an early game perspective, I play a lot of crunch and offlane. Grux is always a menace, at least initially. And with the new items, it feels like he comes online a lot quicker. So someone who is able to play Grux and understands the ins and outs and how to effectively trade is scary. And Grux is just, with 6 items, he just feels even scarier. Specifically, some of the newer items that allow his attack speed to just come online insanely fast. He heals more. I don't know. It's just, Grux is just kind of scary early game. But we see the counter picks coming from Team Jpie. We got the Zarus and the Richter coming out, and immediately 2 big CC heroes going to Team Jpie. Loving their picks.
Yeah, and 2 flex heroes. Both these characters, they can play multiple roles. Zarus and Richter actually can play support, jungle, and offlane. I don't know if I love a Richter offlane, but it is possible. So still a lot of flex potential coming out from Team Jpie. Bigopes a little bit less flexible because Muriel can only go in one place and Chimera can only go in one place. So we know that all three of those characters are going to be solo for Grux, jungle for Kai, and support for this Muriel. But that doesn't, just because they're not flexible doesn't mean they're not strong. Muriel able to go in with the Chimera, with the ult, like follow up, get a huge knock up with the Cull. Grux gets in there, gets a Muriel ult on top of him. He's going to knock everyone up. He's going to use his Warlord's Challenge, get an AoE stun. This team fight already coming out from Bigopes, they're pretty strong, even though they're going to be, engaged upon probably by this Zarus.
Yeah, I think Team Jpie is definitely going to be, they're going to have the ability to scale as the game goes on. Team Bigopes, I think they'll be stronger early. But we will see as we have the Twin Blast. So it's going to be protect the Twin Blast type game as we see the Belica ban coming out. So 2 solid bans from Team Jpie, honestly. Belica, even after the patch, is a menace, right? She was a menace beforehand. She's still a menace. She never really got nerfed. And I know Soul Reaper is just pounding the desk right now, praying and hoping that Belica gets nerfed at some point because she still slaps, man. So that's a good ban from them. But now, how is Team Bigopes going to answer the pick of Twin Blast and the ban of Belica? They banned Argus, which, man, I don't feel like Argus is the same. He's not as scared as he was before. So banning him, it's just like, it's gnome hate for no reason.
Yeah, but I also don't know if I really love the Argus ban. The enemy team seems to be focusing on banning out mid laners and most likely going to pick a mid first. So limiting your own mid pool further by, oh, well, they didn't get a mid, so you actually get the advantage and get to choose it first. But I would have thought that Jpie was going to pick their mid there to really force Bigopes onto something a little awkward, maybe like an Iggy or a Mori or even a Gadget who's not going to do a lot in the lane, right? But they have an advantage here in picking their mid, and it's probably going to be this Grim.
Interesting. So now Team Bigopes looking at options for ADCs. If Grim is the mid, it's going to be kind of weird. And then Team Jpie, okay, there's the Feng Mao. So now I'm not so sure. And I feel like I've seen it before on a couple different people that like to do Feng Mao mid.
Yeah.
And this is because obviously Feng Mao is not going to be ADC, right? So Feng Mao on mid is going to be an interesting matchup. And the pick for Jpie is going to be Gadget. So Gadget into Feng Mao, I don't know, right? Because Feng Mao can kind of negate a lot of the drones with his shield, but at the same time, he shouldn't be able to farm, right? That should be definitely the focus for Team Jpie, is to make sure that Feng Mao does not come online. Otherwise, your side lanes are just going to be smashed all game.
Yeah, absolutely. This Feng Mao, I've seen it work in mid, and I've seen it work in mid the most against a Gadget, funnily enough. As you said, his shield can totally erase, totally negate a hat from Gadget. It's one of the things that he can do into that character. He's got decent clear if he builds some sort of, AoE weaving item. And then of course his hamstring, he'll just delete a wave at some point. So he'll be able to delete a wave and go and rotate. He's very mobile. He's very fast. And while they have this Grim ADC who's going to be dealing magic damage, kind of single target, they get to do a little bit of AoE damage that's physical because of the Feng Mao.
Yep. Totally agree. All right, guys, that's the draft. We are ready and set underway here. Let's not waste any more time. Without further ado, we're going to be hopping into game number 1. We got Team Bigopes and Team Now, as we are getting underway here, I prepared some questions for you, Tedium, so I hope you're ready. In your opinion, who is the actual true #1 ADC right now in El Mundo?
Do you mean player or do you mean character?
We'll say both.
Okay.
We'll go with player first. Who's the best ADC? Chat, feel free to give your input here as well.
I'm an NA fanboy, so I am going to have to say I think the best ADC right now is Cold. I think Chefs look really strong when he's on the team, and then sadly he wasn't able to compete in the final day of PCC7, and the chefs looked very different without him. They build a lot of their team comps around that player, and do a lot of like protect the president because he's just that good. I'm a cold fanboy, but then when it comes to a character, uh, I I personally still feel like the safest ADC to pick is Drongo, but the safest
Yep.
ADC doesn't necessarily mean they're the best. It seems like a lot of people really like this Twin Blast, and when this Twin Blast can do what it wants to do, I do think it's pretty hard to argue that it's not one of the best.
Yeah, a Fed Twin Blast means you're going to get run down. A Fed Drongo means you can't kill him, right? You try and jump on him.
Mhm.
He's got ult to be immune, and then you've got the gag grenade. But I saw some trades, or I saw some votes for Poggy D, Neft, and also Jay as well. No love for Cold Isha. So it seems we're undecided. Maybe we'll find out later, but you know, I do agree. Neft, I've gone against Neft before, and he's a menace to play
Yes,
against.
Neft is very scary.
Man,
One thing I do want to point out here in this offlane, Jujitsu did elect to take the smash and grab at level 1, and he's able to just, continuously poke down Creed. It's not, you know, a typical level 1, pull. I feel. I feel like most people get this double pain. Do you know why Jujitsu has elected to use smash and grab instead?
it could be a fat finger. It could be just to throw off Creed. I'm unsure at this point because yeah, double pain does make a lot more sense. But it looks like Creed losing that early game trade might force him into a weird position. But the duo lane over here, both have gotten level 2 relatively at the same time, so no real stepping up there. But I'd like to see Bigopes maybe try and pull the lane a little bit more. As there's a Richter hook, beautiful start, huge damage coming out from North. But Jujitsu is going to be the one to get the first elim onto Creed, as we got the offlane action going on here, trying to chase down Jujitsu with LTV. I'm not sure if this is still worth here. He gets the elim. We do have the Jpie rotate, but I don't think this is going to work out for Jpie. The early game Chimera has to be respected, and if he's got no items, you're not trading well. But the first two couple trades going in favor of Team Bigopes. At least an answer from Team Jpie. But interesting start here, to say the least.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out here on this duo lane is Richter into Grim. Grim just wants to shield the hook. That is all that character wants to do, because if that doesn't happen and that character gets pulled in, there's really nothing that Grim can do. Got little to no self peel unless they nail that initial damage block and that initial CC block.
Completely agree. So would you say the target should be Muriel, right? Like, hey, hook the Muriel, because Grim, I mean, I forget the exact timing of his cooldown for shield, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to a hook as far as time goes.
A little bit longer, but trying to prey on 2 hooks hitting is not really what you're going to want to do. Jpie tuck under his tower, getting run down by the jungler, and I think the mid of Team Bigopes, and LTV too late to help his mid.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting out good for Team Opes. I mean, that's kind of what we thought, is that their early game presence would be a lot better than Team Jpie. As Jujitsu now with a 2-level lead there, so he's ahead by exactly 1 level, and that's not where you want to be if you're Greystone. You need that level 6. But the lane now getting shoved in on the duo side as North shoving in, doing a bit of damage to the wave, and that's going to be the jungle to help out secure this gold buff. You love to get those early game. Are they going to give it to North, though? LTV says, nope, that's mine, and he's going to get that on the way out. Consolation prize. You love to see it.
Yeah, and Fujitsu on the other side of the map was able to get the Cyan, so both these side buffs have been going to, I guess not extra, went to opposite teams, but Jujitsu forcing out Creed under his tier 1 tower. This is the strength of a Gruk. Just wins the lane pretty handedly, and it's also the weakness of a Greystone, who really can't do anything to that Gruk. He's got a passive that'll block a single basic attack, but that's just not enough. Gruk is going to smack you with a million of those and keep running at you.
Yep, I mean, Grux is doing exactly what he should be doing, right? He's forcing that advantage, making sure that he's staying ahead of this Greystone, and if he's able to maintain that, it's going to make it harder for Greystone to trade. But Greystone not dying. That's all he has to do is not die, soak some XP, and eventually he'll be able to trade against the Grux. But there is a call here to go for the early Fangtooth. And this is one of those things where it can kind of pay off early if you do it. Because at the same time, if the other jungler is farming, which is exactly what he's doing, he might get ahead of you in farm. But looks like this is a great decision as there's no contest. No one has any idea on the side of Team Jpie that this is going on. And again, that's an early Fangtooth. That's a great momentum builder for Team Jpie.
Based on the way that Jpie was positioning, I think he had a bit of an idea. So he dropped the ward to make sure that he remained safe, especially because this Chimera is looking for a pick. Nick's Nads is in the area as well. I mean, they're always going to be in the area. He's laning against him with this Feng Mao mid. How do you think this is like working out for them?
It's working out a little too well, right? It shouldn't be allowed. It should be illegal activity. This Feng Mao should not be able to farm. I'd love to see Jpie freezing it. Like literally, like you're not supposed to freeze the lane in mid, right? But freeze it, force that Feng Mao to step up because its mobility is insane. And it's hard to gank a Feng Mao, right? So you need to take any advantage you can in that position. But Nick Nads is having free roam. Creed has managed to get level 6. There's a gank on Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think he's going to get out of this one alive. Tries to get the Elim onto LTV, but that's going to be the Elim for LTV. And a great gank for the offlane, giving Creed some room to breathe. Exactly what he needs right now.
He's in the mid lane. Oh, wait. On the other side of the map, Bigopes looks like he was pulled into the tower by Beast. It doesn't end up in a kill, but the flash is forced. Bigopes is safe, potentially not safe. To the next engagement. Is North safe? Ooh. Yes, because Beast is here as well.
Beautiful block there from the Richter. I don't think that would have killed North, but my God, that's just exactly what you want to see. If you're an ADC and you see the big fat boy take the shot, man, that is a feels good man moment for North, as that's going to be a lane freeze for them, a free back as well, and great reset all around. But now 8 minutes pass, we are at a scoreline of 2-3. Bigopes currently in the lead as we suspected for the early game. They got the first Raptor, but as time goes on here, I'm curious to see LTV ganking after his dual lane has backed, but Jpie's there for the rotate. That's an ult from Jpie. Maybe a little bit of an overkill there, but man, that is a dead Muriel if I've ever seen one. And now scoreline 3-3. Jiu-Jitsu looking for that mini prime.
It's not overkill if I am that Taurus. That cage is about to expire. I need my stack. Use your ult, Jpie. I need my stack.
Exactly. I mean, in that line of thinking, I totally get it. But man, I've ulted before just to secure an Elim, and Grady yelled at me. So I think twice of it whenever I'm choosing to decide whether or not to ult to get a kill. But
yeah, that is very fair. But if I'm Zarus, I'm still happy there. Probably in a competitive sense, it is the wrong move to waste the gadget ult on a 1 health Muriel who didn't have any more shields incoming. They were going to die when the cage went away anyway. But Jiu-Jitsu on the other side of the map does secure the mini prime with his team, and now is being able to continue to pressure Creed under that tower, and hopefully if he's able to get a pull, take him out and kill him and then take his tower.
Yeah, be curious to see. I don't know that Creed has ult, so him sticking around could be dangerous. Maybe it's coming up soon, and that's why, no, he does opt to back, though, so that could be a dead off-lane tower. Chimera now looking at mid, and if you're Chimera, I mean, you're doing it right. I think Jpie is completely unsuspecting that Chimera is currently lurking in the jungle directly behind him. So might want to step in, take a quick look there. There's going to be a rotate from mid as well. Mama Joe taking out LTV as the dual lane dealing with some action. Jiu-Jitsu now trading with Creed, but he's got no mana, so I don't think this is going to continue for him. And Jpie getting ganked in mid. He should be able to get away here. I think Mount Salt does get the ult off on him. There's the ult coming from Nick Nads as the mid lane rotates. Taken out North. Jpie managing to get away with a sliver of HP. Nick Nads securing the Elim on IR Bestis. And that's 3 unanswered kills for Team Bigopes.
Bigopes has been pretty bloody in this game. They've been able to kill so many people, and what we saw there was the strength of this Feng Mao mid, able to rotate really quickly because of the ability to destroy a wave, and then punishes North and punishes IR Best for being just too far forward in the lane. He can chase down anyone, even with mobility, like a Twin Blast, and then combine it with a Grim. Both those ultimates together onto a Squishy, you're getting a reset for free.
Right. You're getting a kill. That's a free ticket back to base in about 20 seconds. But again, that's illegal activity that should not be happening. Jpie now getting caught by the Grux. Never something you want to see going through a fog wall is a Grux in your face. It's hard for him to close the gap, but if he does, my God, you're getting hit. And Jpie, hopefully he's aware. He does see that Jiu-Jitsu is still lurking around. So we got 3 in mid right now from Team Bigopes. There's the blink coming on to Jpie. The ult coming out as well. That's a dead gadget. Jpie, see you later. Talking about the free trip back to base and still mini prime. That's a dead mid tower as well as the kill.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be Fangtooth too as well, because now they have the pressure in mid. There's no tier 1 tower. No one can safely rotate in. IR Bestest and North are just kind of in the area, but they can't really engage. North looking to trade out a tier 1 tower, but it's just too healthy. They need the retreat.
And the Fang Mao positioning as well, just kind of giving free vision while also taking the jungle camp, being a complete menace. Nick Nads doing the Fang Mao mid the way that you should, as they get out with essentially everything that they could have wanted to do in that scenario, completely unscathed. North needs to respond here. There's the LTV engaging. Coliseum used on the Chimera. Muriel ult coming out, might be able to save here as the Grim now joins the fight. Nick Nads taking out LTV. IR Bestest also getting smacked down in North. Up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Gonna ult, secures an elim onto the Kai, at least trading something, but my God, we need to get something going here for Team Jpie.
North might be in danger. Big Oak with the Muriel. They're able to slow him down a lot, and they're going to just keep smacking him. The blink is forced away, and Big Oaks doesn't have enough mana to ult, so North is safe. But that was a big team fight loss for the side of Team Jpie. They lose their mid. They lose their mid tower. They lose the Fangtooth. Then they lose 2. They lost 2 after the Fangtooth, and then they lose the blink on their carry. That was huge for Big Oaks.
Well, hold on here, TD. Maybe there's a glimmer of sunshine through the clouds. Can we get a scoreboard check real quick? Let's see. Did North get any sort of bounty on that Chimera at least? Was there a positive outcome from that? As I think there was a bounty on the Chimera. He hadn't been eliminated yet. That was his first. It's a 2 elim bounty, but it's still something, right? At least they got that. And North has got his first item. He's started on that.
North is 0-1.
Oh, North didn't get the kill. That was actually Jpie. It looked like North was getting the kill.
I thought so too.
Jpie got the kill. Man, this is just not working out for Team Jpie so far. But, you know, I mean, this is a game of who's going to make the big mistake when it comes to team fights, right? You can lose the laning phase, but team fights is where it matters, and only time will tell how that ends up. Now back in the dual lane, we've got a missed hook. That's going to signal the go-ahead for Big Opes. IR Best just getting completely shredded now. North on an island by himself. Big Opes just smashing, but North backing up. There's the ult use. And a counter ult from North. Nick Nads lurking in the back. I don't think North is aware. Is he? He goes right into him. Nick Nads gonna take out North, and Jpie did not rotate. I'm spamming enemy missing mid if that happens.
I've played ADC with a Fang Mao mid on the opposite team, and it looked exactly like what is happening in this game. Constant rotations into duo lane after freely clearing his wave and then killing me over and over and over. That character is really good, especially into squishies, and he's really good at just pushing down these towers. Lots of damage.
I mean, this is the danger of Fang Mao mid. If you allow the illegal activity to happen, this is what you've essentially created. There's a rotate onto the offlane. Creed and Jpie collectively taking out Jiu-Jitsu, so at least some sort of answer back. I'm not sure. I can't quite see the timer on Orb Prime, but you know, if it's available, maybe something to start looking at. 15 minutes into the game here. Scoreline 5-11. Team Jpie really needs to get something going here. The third Fangtooth coming up in about a minute or so. Mount of Salt is going to be the one to initiate the mini prime and maybe look to get the third Fangtooth off of that, as we'll see things start to unfold here as we're heading into the mid game.
I actually would like this to go onto Nick Nads. He has been so mobile and everywhere on this map that giving him this objective, this buff, would allow him to just further push down any lane he chooses, though I guess the tier 2 and duo lane is already gone, and that's where he's been focusing most of his energy.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's a nice engage here on the duo lane. Mama Joe is going to go down as there's a good start to some sort of life. Solid answer there. Bigopes does not have an ultimate available. Okay, he does. He does just get it back, but that's all he's got. The tower is one shot. It's about to go down. Bigopes is in trouble. But no, he's going to take out the TB. He's going to give his life, whereas Nick Nads is here to try and save the life of the Bigopes. He doesn't save him in time. He does pick up the Elim. Creed is following behind, and then we got the Chimera, as that might be an opportunity for the third Fangtooth, but a decent amount of trades back and forth at least.
Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu has rotated as well, as has Creed, so both offlaners in this area as well. Everyone knows that this third Fangtooth is very, very important, and that is the strength of having the first two, right? Like, you add all this pressure to the enemy team, even if they're behind, they have to face check, they have to attempt, they have to be in the area to just defend or take this Fangtooth 3, even if it's not an prime opportunity for them.
Yep, and Chimera with that mini prime buff has already shredded down this Zarus. There's a huge Muriel coming out. Mount of Salt does manage to take out the opposing jungler, but Mama Joe now in danger. The Chimera also goes down. Jiu-Jitsu forced back as well, and this might be an opportunity for Team Jpie to get a Raptor going. They're going to continue to press their advantage. Unsure, as they're currently winning that trade. Nice Richter ult coming out. Jiu-Jitsu getting completely shredded. And he's forced to blink out. Creed is still in there. Ultimate utilized. This is a beautiful fight coming out here from Team Jpie. And now Bigopes might get eliminated as well. Great cleanup from them. They're showing some life.
Very, very clean. Both junglers initially go down to what I thought was kind of a sloppy initiation from the Zarus, but it doesn't matter in the end because his team rotates in. His team eventually is just able to kill the Grux. They were able to kill the Grim, and now they're going to go for this Fangtooth. But Mountain of Salt is in the area. The steal could potentially happen.
Could happen. Nick Nads is lurking in the background. Mama Joe has also joined to try to negate some of the damage, but this is a full 5v3 as Nick Nads does come over the wall. He thinks better of it. Backs out immediately, and I think this is going to result in a Chimera getting taken out with Muriel currently in danger as well. Nick Nads able to disengage, but dang, that is what we're talking about, right? A couple mistakes, couple fights do not go in favor of Team Bigopes, and suddenly Team Jpie looking like they're right back in the game.
Yeah, it looks like they were never even out of it, despite what I initially thought. Like, they were down 0-2 on Fangs. They were kind of losing every single pick. They were losing in the dual lane. Bigopes was dealing so much damage, able to just convert all of those damage into kills. Nick Nads was rotating constantly. They got the tier 2 tower in dual lane pretty early. It just didn't matter. The team fight that just came out of Team Jpie was outstanding, and they didn't even really use the Zarus in it.
Right. Now, here we are, 19 minutes, 12-14, heading into the mid-game stage. Got another question for you, TDM. Another question. Quick pause. Who, in your opinion, is the scariest jungler to play against?
To play against or to play as?
To play against.
Okay.
Like hero and player.
Okay, this might be rooted in some trauma for me, but I still think the scariest jungler I've ever played against was Thick back in the day with his crunch jungle stealing all of my farm.
Crunch jungle. Completely agreed. Jiu-Jitsu now getting the Coliseum. The microwave was used, and it looks like yet again Team Jpie continuing that momentum. As you see the build. They're starting to play together. They're rotating as a team, but hold the phone. We've got a Muriel dual lane, and I think we've got the ADC with Muriel as well. They're going to get a free inhib, as this is going to force backs from the side of Team Jpie. So honestly, losing 2 for an inhib, not the worst trade, but at the same time, Old Prime has been pulled, and I am not sure that they can actually contest it.
Creed has no ult, so Nick Nats could get in there and start a little bit of a reset chain, especially with all the damage that Orb Prime just dealt to him. LTV is also low. Nick Nats could do something huge here.
Would be a great opportunity. Nick Nats goes in, takes out Creed. There's the Muriel ult, perfectly timed. Nick Nats looking for a second one, but TV completely shredding him, and Muriel now looking to get eliminated as well. There is the rotate from Bigopes. He's in, but North getting the tank from Richter. Now Mama Joe, he needs to back up as there's a scary Grux. He's on your booty, son. Get out of there. North looking to get out. Jpie showing up, but it doesn't matter. North gets eliminated as well. There's the microwave used onto Jiu-Jitsu, and I think Jpie is just going to opt to back up here. So you do not want to fight a Grux. This is not going to continue to go well. Blink utilized. Jpie's out of there, but I don't know. That was back and forth. They've got the Orb Prime, but they lost pretty much their entire team for it.
Only Jpie has it now. And they lost their inhibitor. That was really big from the Grim, from the Muriel, and of course from the Feng Mao, who, as I said, got in there, was able to deal a lot of damage, get a couple resets, and was able to just eliminate the Orb Prime from a couple of them. It's kind of unfortunate that the Orb Prime was still secured probably by North there with a basic attack or two. But, you know, only on Jpie now, so the map pressure that would have given them is washed away completely.
For sure, and I think this is definitely a time to call grouping up on Jpie, or maybe Jpie is the one that should be shoving out that left lane, setting up for the Fangtooth. But you know, it's hard to make all these decisions in the moment as time is going on. But I think at least one person having it is still some sort of opportunity, right? There's still a chance to create something, get something going here. But again, you know, shout out to Team Jpie for coming back into this game. It's looking like it's going to be a close one, but I'm kind of leaning toward Team Bigopes as they've got that inhib, constant pressure until that comes back up. It's going to be a constant thorn in their side as they're looking to set up for Fangtooth.
I feel like Bigopes has also been a bit more consistently strong in these team fights, in these picks. They've been more consistently able to get something going, whereas LTV and his team, oh, never mind, North able to just take out Bigopes, and now it's right before the Primal Fang too. So I might have to just take back what I said, but I thought that everything on Bigopes was going really well for them. They were able to just, you know, win a couple of the key team fights. They had just lost one or two that allowed for the other objectives to be taken. And I think that just happened again. They were just able to pick up Bigopes on his Grim. Now the Primal Fang might be going easily to Team Jpie.
Yep, I guess it's just that caster curse, man. But at least, at the very least, Jiu-Jitsu is in the off lane. He's looking to create that off lane pressure. That is going to be a Primal Fangtooth, but Mount of Salt is there. There could be a potential for a steal here. If that happens, while Grux is threatening the inhibitor, this is going to be interesting. 5k HP on the Fangtooth. Creed, ult has been popped. There's the Muriel hook. Beautiful hook onto her. Nick Nads getting ulted as well, completely locked down. Mount of Salt getting taken out as well. The Fangtooth is still leashed, but it did manage to heal a little bit. That's about 4,000 HP. Grux is now being pushed out by the mid Jpie gadget. Still lurking here though is Bigopes, and I think North is looking to zone. Yet still Jpie taking out Jiu-Jitsu. That is still going to result in the Primal Fangtooth. There it is. Oh my goodness, Jpie's team is back in it.
Not just back in it, they have the lead, in my opinion. This power play with this Fangtooth, this Primal Fang, is going to be huge, and they should be able to push down the tier 2 in mid, which is where, you know, the Richter is positioned right now. Jpie is going to continue to push here on the right, and if they can even take down one of those two towers, I think they're going to have a lot of opportunity to then take this this next Orb Prime. And they've been pretty successful in the last few fights. They've been successful in the last few picks. I think getting an Orb Prime on them might secure an inhib and might secure the core in the end.
Yep, Jpie needs to be careful here. He's got a lot of items online. He's looking good. You've got the primal buff, but you do not want to get caught out solo here. Now is the opportunity to group up and look for a fight. You've got the Primal Fangtooth. That is when you look for a fight. And it looks like we're aiming to shove down that left lane. They want to get an inhib for an inhib and start setting up for the Orb Prime, but I believe the Primal Fangtooth will fall off. Before that happens, as Nick Nads has jumped onto Jpie in the off lane, but there is a quick disengage. as he's able to back up. Does Nick Nads realize that Zarus is lurking? But hold the phone. Bigopes team is collapsing onto Creed in the jungle. This is going to be a huge fight as Creed should have his ult available, but he's getting completely shredded there. There's the ult utilized. Bigopes still completely shredding him. The Jujitsu is going to go down. Mama Joe now up in a position he does not want to be. North managing to stay alive, and that's exactly what you want to do. Keeping the ADC alive. He's still chunking. Creed doing his job zoning. Beautiful peels coming out here from Team Jpie, and that is going to signal the rotate toward Orb Prime.
I don't know if it's the right call to initiate onto a primal fanged up team. I know that, you know, you're desperate for something to get going, but then also right after that, focusing on a Greystone who's got two lives and his entire team around the corner with Primal Fang. I think that was a little bit of desperation, but
for sure,
it was not the right call.
Yeah, and honestly, engaging wasn't the worst, right? It's realizing like, hey, time to let off the gas. And I think not letting off the gas there is what resulted in that heavily going in the favor of Team Jpie, as now they're going to get a T2. Looking to set up for the Orb Prime fight, but Primal has fallen off here. Orb Prime is going to be the next big one. Jpie shoving out, setting that off lane. The inhib has come back up, so they no longer have that going for them on Team Bigopes. And Orb Prime looking like it might just be the decider going into the 27-minute mark of the game.
It is absolutely the decider that is going to, you know, change the game completely. If they're able to get a pick here onto LTV, then Bigopes is going to be back in this game. Maybe IR Best is going to be the consolation prize. Should go down to Grimwald here. He does. Now Jpie in. So is LTV. Circles on circles, and everyone is getting eliminated.
I was unsure who was that going in favor of, but it looked like Team Bigopes just got completely deleted. They get the Richter, but everyone else losing their lives. They did manage to take out the Zarus, but that is a full team wipe. North is completely online. Jpie also, both damage dealers doing it big. All lanes are shoving. Orb Prime is going to be massive here, and they might just be able to end off of it. Great engagement for Team Jpie.
Oh, Jpie is getting a little low. If Orb Prime is able to, you know, get those missiles off, might be able to trade a kill back for his own life.
Or
but
he's definitely dying.
No, I was right. Jpie does get traded. The Orb Prime, you know, one kill on the board for him.
Oh, Jpie. In true Jpie fashion, man. The man stays too long. Creed, though, also overstayed as the entire enemy team has come back up. Creed, you got to get out of there, man. I don't know if he manages to create enough distance, but he might just get out. Beautiful. So only Jpie, the collateral damage through that entire engagement, and we've got another thing too coming up.
Yeah. They did end up getting the mid inhib. Creed was pushing up while his two teammates were taking the Orb Prime. So if Creed had helped, Jpie probably doesn't die there, but they might not get the inhib. So, you know, 50-50 on whether it was the right call or not. But Jpie back up in 5 seconds. Will be able to be here for this Primal Fangtooth fight. And I'll be honest, I'm scared if Jpie and a gadget in general is able to pick this up. Primal Fang's burn is insane on that character.
Oh yeah, North is online, right? He's got Infernum, I believe, as well as part of the build. So just burn after burn, and then gadget will chunk half your health with that Primal Fangtooth. And definitely not sure what the decision is going to be here. I'd be curious to see what the calm calls are on the side of Team Bigopes, as they kind of have to contest this either full force, or they have to completely give it and expect to defend a double buff. Both options are not great, right? If you contest this, you lose, you die, you lose the game. Either way, it's going to be interesting as 10k HP on the Primal Fangtooth. Beautiful zoning coming out here from the side of Team Jpie. Doing it big. Jiu-Jitsu now looking to engage. There's the ult. Jpie ultimate used. Coming out here. Creed walking in. LTV taking out Jiu-Jitsu. Bigopes now caught in an ult. That's the Chimera as well. As Chimera is also going to go down. Nick Nads now the last remaining trying to run away with his life. Not a single person from Team Jpie has been eliminated. They still have the Orb Prime buff, and they're gonna just continue to press down mid. This might just be the game.
Yeah, they don't even need the Primal Fang Booth. They have the core instead, wiping everyone save for Nick Nads. That Fang has secured the game for Jpie. A pretty good comeback because Bigopes, they had the lead.
There it is.